Broadcasting live from Sothera the Supervoid on the edge of eternities. This is TapTapConcede. Welcome, everybody, to TapTapConcede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Kathleen.
Hello.
And Cameron.
Huh?
And today, it's part 1 of 2 of the year that was 2025. Looking back at a year in magic. But before we get into that, before we dive straight in, I want to remind everybody that this show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Experience your own year of magic by ordering cards or selling cards. Go to cardkingdom.com/LRR. They're a great place to do business in terms of your cardboard needs. They're great. Tell them we sent you. Say, Loading Ready Run sent me. Button, please. And they'll give you a little button that says a funny thing. And we'd appreciate that. Also, wrap your cards up in the best sleeves you can buy. Dragon Shield. Anything you buy on the Dragon Shield store, use the code LRRMTG5 and get yourself a 5% discount. And finally, and most importantly, everything we do here at Loading Ready Run is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon, or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Member shoutouts at the end of this video. Thank you, as always. 2025. How
What
much
happened?
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
Now, Kathleen and Cameron were given instructions by James to do none homework for this.
Yeah.
Refreshing change of pace for me, really, personally.
I mean, we actually do make an effort to inform ourselves about topics we're going to discuss normally.
We do, but like the immediate year preceding things is usually kind of a weak point for me because I don't play standard, right? And I feel like if I played standard, I'd have a much better grasp on when things happened to us all.
It's also, something, the pace of releases. Like, it's getting harder and harder to keep track of everything that goes on.
Yeah.
And we're very enfranchised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that extent, also, what I have here is the MTG Wiki, now hosted by Scryfall.
Yay!
Page of Magic in 2025.
That's actually something that happened in 2020.
That was this year. That's true. And I think that was this year. Oh, God.
It was this year.
I think so. Anyway, that was great, and we appreciate it,
So
because
it's a good thing that happened in
using
Magic.
this without fandom's infinite moving banner ads is great.
Yeah, trying to read a wiki through an 1/8 of an inch wide window in the middle of multiple ads.
Yeah.
For whatever you last looked at on Amazon.
I'm not going to go through every single thing that is listed on this page, because, like,
Coward.
I mean, if you want to know that, like, Pioneer Masters on Arena switched to the Devotion bonus sheet on January 7th.
Okay.
then
All right, fine.
We can talk about that. In fact, right here, February 2nd, the MTG Wiki migrates to Scryfall. It's in bold and everything. So, it's basically going to be like, do you remember all of this happening? And we're going to talk about sort of how we look back on it in retrospect. We're recording this, by the way, on December 8th. So, there is, technically speaking, more year to come, but that's how end-of-year lists work. December's a write-off.
I have serious complaints about this from a music standpoint.
I was going to say.
Yeah, trying to come up with your best 2025 list when there's still 3 weeks in which...
Yeah. Well,
No new media releases in December. We only want to watch the media we used to watch.
Yeah. I mean,
True.
So it's really funny because last year, this is not related to Magic, so I'm going to make this very fast. Last year, there was an album that came out by a guy named Cameron Winter, who is the lead singer of Geese, who put out an album that did incredible numbers this year. And so now, because it technically came out in 2024, and everybody wants to be like, oh, but this album was really good, because it was really good, it's popping up on tons of end-of-the-year 2025 lists. And just the logic is, well, yeah, but December 2024 doesn't count as 2024 now. So it's like, okay, cool, we're just offsetting the year. Just put your lists out in January.
Yeah.
But that's not
Nothing else happens in January.
That's true.
Yeah.
That should be when the end of year lists happen. Well, I guess we're early with these podcasts.
Right, I'm contributing to the problem. No.
This allows us.
What are the odds that we're going to get an announcement, I don't know, tomorrow, that Universes Beyond Star Wars is happening or something?
Right.
Yeah. We'll put a sticker on
30%?
the put a sticker on the podcast. It's
32%?
Look, none of us want to come in and record a podcast on Boxing Day, so that's also why end of the year lists are nice.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We all want to take the time off.
All right,
Let's get started.
Technically speaking, the first release of 2025 was January 14, and it was a bunch of secret layers. It was the Chaos Vault for the Strange Sands, which was are these the oh no, actually this is worth talking about. It's the one with that island.
Oh. Yeah, Yonic Island.
Yeah, extremely Yonic Island.
Amazing, because I was like,
Yeah.
why are we talking? Like, I was like, I'm not.
that island.
Basically,
Oh.
I swear to God, while Graham was like, so it's the secret layer for it. I'm like, you might have seen me shaking my head because I'm like, I'm going to have no memory of this. You could tell me anything was this secret layer and I would believe you because I have. And then you said, it's the one with that island.
James, it's collector number 1479 in the secret layer drop.
Do we have to mosaic this out?
It's the Secret Sands with art by Scott Ballmer was a cycle of it was a cycle of all 5 basic lands in a kind of an abstract style, but in particular the island. I remember it. Sorry, James asked us to.
I'm trying to. Oh my God! I'm scrolling. So the way they do Secret Layer on Scryfall, which to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of, is it's just all one page. Oh. And so I'm scrolling down, and I'm truly seeing so many secret layers here that I have never in my life seen. But you're talking about this.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the island. So yeah, Scott Ballmer did a cycle. I don't remember what any of the other ones look like. Oh, they're nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is also beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
It wasn't certainly nothing wrong with
It
it.
just brings clams to mind.
Yeah, this is. I feel like this would be a 1970s prog rock album cover.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So
We're not yucking anyone's yum. It's just really funny that it was just like, we're not going to remember this. That island, immediate recall. You saw it too.
Yeah, the immediate simultaneous.
yeah, I had also forgotten. But our first actual set release of the year, do you remember January 24th?
Murders at Karloff Manor?
No, that was many years ago.
Not for standard, but a full set. Draftable.
Ether Drive?
Draftable once by us.
Innistrad Remastered?
Innistrad Remastered.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Innistrad Remastered was released January 24th, and it was a bunch of... so it was 297 cards from across Innistrad. So original Innistrad block, Shadows of Innistrad block, Midnight Hunt, and Crimson Vow, and commander cards that were set on Innistrad. And this other thing that they did that I remember bringing up at the time because I thought it was odd was that there were cards in the set that were not originally on Innistrad,
Right.
but that they added because they thought it would help the draft, or they wanted to get the reprints out there, I guess, but then they reimagined them
As if they were on Innistrad.
as if they were on
That
Innistrad.
makes
I
sense.
remember the red mythics in particular heavily skewed towards this, I want to say.
So an example, we have Through the Breach here, which was not originally set on Innistrad, but has now been reimagined with Emrakul there. And it's very cool.
And Nahiri.
Yeah, and Nahiri summoning Emrakul. And that's like super neat, but I don't know. At the time, I was like, but the whole point is like cards we remember from those sets. Mm-hmm. And now this is other stuff.
Yeah, I remember feeling like the vibe was off.
I think Innistrad Remastered came and went, and it probably put some reprints out that people needed, one hopes.
Yeah.
But I don't think this made a huge impact on the Magic community.
There was... Oh, here we go. The wiki has a list here. So there was one card from Stronghold. I don't know what they are. There's a card from Stronghold, 2 cards from Mirrodin, 3 from Alara Reborn, 4 from Magic 2011, 5 from... Only 5 from original Innistrad. 6 Dark Ascension, 7 Avacyn Restored, 9 Shadows, 10 Eldritch Moon, 11 from Aether Revolt. Really?
Aether Revolt.
Interesting. There's some other stuff as well. We don't need to get too deep on it because they put a lot of work into this, and it looked very fun and collectible. And then we drafted it once, then we never thought about it again.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of got bowled over by the relentless pace of releases.
I'm willing to agree with that.
Yeah. This was the first set that they introduced the headliner. By the blank expressions on both of you. So this was the first set that they chose. There's a specific card that is like, we decide this is the headliner card of the set, and it's going to be, there's a quote here. It cranks all the exciting knobs for awesome collectability, making a card feel super special by producing dedicated treatments.
Oh,
Look, Magic
okay.
players love to have their knobs cranked, but
So, yeah, in this case, we have Edgar Markov, and we have this particularly fancy-looking Edgar Markov that was serialized out of 500.
Looks like it should be in a secret layer because it's so absolutely bananas on the design and the formatting and everything like that.
And so there's like Edgar Markov is the headliner of the set. There's a bunch of different versions of Edgar Markov, and they would continue to have a chosen headliner for all the rest of the sets throughout the year.
yeah, I mean, this is a card that needed to get out there. It was
God, he's so good though.
unreasonably expensive.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does Edgar Markov do? I don't know.
So
what
much.
doesn't he do? You can just make stuff up, and it would probably be below the power level.
We had Festival in a Box for Chicago 2025,
I remember
featuring
that.
the Secret Lair of Animar and Friends. The Secret Lair Winter Super Drop with Jesper Eisling artist series, more Hatsune Miku somehow, City Styles #2.
Was this the best Miku drop?
Which one's that?
No. I meant, like, if this was a yet another Miku drop, what was the best Miku? It's a meme from, like, 2000.
Oh, okay.
I remember the Jesper Eisling one because I just saw one of the cards that were in that secret layer, an Angel's Cube.
Yeah, right.
So
February 11th, we finally have Chivos. We've brought the achievement system to Magic Arena.
right,
Finally.
yes.
Yeah, finally.
It wasn't something I felt was particularly lacking from my experience, but I'm glad we have them.
Yeah, and now the unlockable the titles, you can apply like a title
Yeah.
under your name.
Yeah.
I feel like a particularly, I don't know, technologically inept grandpa because I don't have a title selected.
I don't want one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't need one.
You could be seasoned.
That's a terrible thing to say about a man.
You could be a veteran explorer.
Isn't that what,
Okay, so
isn't that what Deanna Troy said about Riker? You're more seasoned now.
yeah, I put some mesquite on your back when you weren't looking. But I like it when seasoned. I don't like as a title because it's just weird. I like the idea of veteran explorer because that is like a reference to a
card.
magic card.
Yeah.
So I think these should all. If I get a clever, if I get a title, it should be clever. It
Yeah.
should all be like some sort of magic reference.
Yeah, can I get Chief of the Edge? I don't know. Like,
Or like Cosmogrand, Cosmogrand.
Cosmogrand Zenith.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or one of the sobriquets that are attached to any number of legendary cards.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know who would be great at this is if you just hired a creative text person to come through and come up with some great sobriquets.
Nah.
Clearly, they need a card called Veteran Pioneer now.
Oh, yeah.
Because Veteran Brawler and Veteran Explorer are achievements for playing 450 games of Brawler and Explorer.
Yeah.
But they've removed Veteran Explorer, the achievement, because
Explorer's gone.
Explorer is gone now, because now they call it just Pioneer. So, an excuse to make a card.
Yep. They also, there was also the Bargler, but that was only available for
Yargle Day.
9 days.
I'm sorry, the prominent Pioneer exists.
Oh.
Oh.
Bargler.
No.
Barglers for our Yargle Day, probably.
Yeah.
I would put Bargler after my name.
Yeah, Bargler is... Sure, why not? Yeah.
But, like, that's a cutesy magic reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just seasoned. Like,
February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Another secret layer?
No, it was the release of Ether Drift.
Oh!
Yep. Yeah, okay. Now I know what year we're in.
Okay, great.
Yes, Ether Drift. all my little ball guys.
Little ball guys?
Yeah, the blue-white deck. The the little guys, little robots.
Shoot. What were those called?
Yeah, because I was expecting them to show up in Edge, and then they didn't.
Yeah, which intrigues me. It means there's another plane of little ball guys with display faces. Mm-hmm. Unlike my face.
You're thinking of like Nesting Bot, for example.
Yeah. What was their subtype? They were,
They're robots.
No, but they were Mechans? No. No, Mechans is from Edge, right? But these were they had a different flavor name, this faction.
Actually, check out Diversion Unit, James, for another good little face. I'll try to find out I'm looking to look at a couple of the cards.
See, I feel like I should have done my research now. Oh, Diversion Unit. I remember this little guy
Pi
in draft.
tilde pi. Declarative. Goodbye.
Well, it's interesting because I can say that usually for Magic card art, the instructions is no recognizable language, right? Because because the Magic cards have to work in every region, right?
Yeah.
They have to make them in French
However,
and in Japanese.
This is a universally recognized human sentiment.
Exactly. It's great.
Look
and
at
it
his
kind of
little
works
face.
for a little robot because it's like the ASCII text.
Yep.
I think it's a really clever art treatment. And I enjoy it immensely. Now I feel bad because I didn't do any research and I can't remember what this little faction is called. I'm going to say my vibes on Ether Drift were that it was a cool concept and the community didn't love it for reasons of hat opinions. People were like, oh, another hat set, right? When it came out, this is the racing set. My only, I thought it was doing some interesting things. I thought all the side stories were great for the main story as well, because it gave you, I know people, if you're have opinions on the actual story and events and stuff like that, and if you're I wish that more focus had been put on the planes that they went to instead of just passing through, you could get that out of the side stories, which was cool, in addition to the main narrative, which told you more of the story of the race and what's going on with our main characters in Magic the Gathering. It was doing some interesting things. I think people wanted more focus on wow, what actually is happening on Amonkhet? How do we get, what is Moragonda like?
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen,
That's the Vorthos take.
Yeah, I think I was much less heavily invested in the meta plot and more wanted to see more elaboration on my little guys and also the planes we were visiting.
Yeah.
I thought the concept of Ether Drift as being now all these omen paths are open, and that has caused all kinds of opportunities and crises across the planes. One of which is people are just kind of are Tokyo drift racing across extremely fragile biomes, which I thought was funny and struck me as extremely plausible.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably would what happen, especially when you have this is an Avishkari race, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
Avishkar has a lot more technology and money and wherewithal than a lot of other planes. They're, probably one of the most technologically advanced outside of Kamigawa and Ravnica, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
right?
I think Avishkar clears Ravnica on the, what we would consider a technology front. From
That's true.
20th,
That's
21st
true.
century Western perspective. Of being how good are their computers, though?
Yeah.
How advanced are their video games?
I think only Kaladesh has video games. I think Avishkar has other future tech, and Ravnica is what if
Kamigawa, yeah.
Kamigawa has future tech video games.
Yeah.
Avishkar has future tech racing vehicles, and Ravnica, I'm going to take a big step down here, but it's still way above places like Innistrad and stuff.
Yeah. I think. Ravnica would probably have extremely advanced. Engineering.
Yes.
And construction techniques.
Yes, engineering and construction techniques, the best that the 1920s Earth could have offered.
Yeah. Also, probably extremely advanced bio. You don't sustain a population of trillions for 10,000 years.
Oh yeah,
without knowing how to recycle.
Oh yeah, their genetic engineering also is incredible. Like but like I would say those are the planes that are highest up. And so I thought it was an interesting way of demonstrating that this is a way of Avishkar like pushing out its influence into the multiverse, right?
Right.
And maybe these are nearby planes, but at the same time I would have liked to see a bit more on all of that. And I understand that, as you said, you were a little bit checked out of the meta story. This is. Remember how I was like, oh, Jace is on his villain arc. And like immediately, Jace is now on his villain arc, and now we're getting him to make choices that we don't understand and that bad things are happening. Nicol Bolas has been reminded of his name in all of these things. That didn't happen in Aetherdrift, though. We just lost Lute and had to look at Winter suffering. The point, it's not a bad story, but it relies on you caring about a lot of other people that have been set into place in other stories. And if you're just coming in, it's a bad place to come in.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff happening, there's a lot of stuff paying off, and there's a lot of machinations happening. And so if you're not super familiar with what's going on, you're like, why is Jace acting like this? Because he's on his villain arc.
You're thinking of the Guidelight Voyagers.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're very welcome. The teams were the Guidelight Voyagers, the Speed Demons, the End Riders, the Goblin Rocketeers, the Alacrian Quick Beasts, which I think just means fast beasts.
The fast guys.
The Champions of Amonkhet, the Keel Haulers, the Speed Brood, the Cloudspire Racing Team, and the Ether Rangers.
But I will say, actually, speaking of these factions, because I had forgotten about a couple of them, what is interesting, and I think maybe this is why people were a little bit disappointed, is some of these factions are not from planes that we have seen. Like, the Keel Haulers are shark people, right? But they're not Ixalan shark people, because there's no shark people on Ixalan.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But you only see these little glimpses, and I think people wanted a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with being tantalized.
Yeah.
Right, I guess.
Exactly. So this was my problem with Aetherdrift was that, like, for example, one of the main planes that we go to is Muruganda, which has been referenced a lot. We've never actually gone there, and so we just sort of get to know, like, a little teeny bit more about it. There's... Muruganda does stuff with like vanilla creatures, so we had vanilla creatures for the first time in a while, which was kind of interesting. Something I didn't realize until much later is if we look at the card March of the World Ooze.
Someone pointed this out to me.
Yeah, that there's secretly Garrick is there.
Yeah,
like you can just see in the center creature, there's a silhouette of someone standing behind that like oozy mastodon, and it's clearly Garrick, and it's even more obvious there's an alternate art printing of March of the World Ooze where it's like, oh no, that's literally just Garrick, and it's like, oh, that's where he's been. I wonder why. I hope we get to find out. And I enjoyed that, but comparatively, Amonkhet, which is a plane that we've been to before but haven't been to in a while, and it's like, oh cool, we get to revisit Amonkhet. What do we learn about Amonkhet? They built a freeway through it. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we don't learn anything new about Amonkhet. We just know that they frankly ruined it by putting a racetrack through it.
What we're going to do is we're going to build the line.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Right? Like, they built Neon in Amonkhet.
So I will say, I didn't love I thought some of it was neat. Everything that you've said that you liked, I also liked. Like, the side stories and the getting to see people from planes that we haven't been to before was interesting. Like the End Riders as well was like, what's this plane, right? Like that was neat. I didn't love the sort of the overall, like, wacky races, Mad Max sort of thing of it. It didn't feel as disparate as Duskmourn, where like they weren't sure if they wanted to go with like true horror or like Stranger Things, right? And like both of those were sort of mashed up. Like this had like, there's a little bit of Mad Max, there's a bit of Fast and the Furious, there's a little bit of wacky races, there's a little bit, and it was like too much and too clever and too cute, and I didn't love that. Drafting it was fun.
Yeah.
Drafting, like, max speed was actually a really fun mechanic that I thought I wouldn't like, and then I did.
I was very medium on it. I thought it felt really slow for something called max speed. It was hard to get going. I had to deal combat damage to you 3 times, which in that format was not always a guarantee each turn. Like, And like I
Not
get it.
necessarily combat damage, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, to me, the problem with Ether Drift is that we were seeing so many places and so many factions and so many things, and then there was also the main characters of the story who also had to make an appearance, and all of this stuff was happening that I don't look back at it and have any kind of idea of what a cohesive experience it was. It felt very disparate, which was by design, but it was so disparate I don't think most people have an identification for it outside of, hat racing set, checkered flag set symbol, and because we don't remember these things because it's so much stuff, right? Like I played the set a few times and I had completely forgotten what the Guidelight Voyagers were called.
Yes, I don't have memories of playing this set. I liked the little ball guys.
They were great.
Yeah. There were a lot of like interesting, tantalizing little bits in this set, and it just seemed like it had to do so much.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a good. Can you imagine if this huge, like, it wasn't like a speed race, it was like some sort of like kind of like Dakar thing, and it was like a block set, and we got to see them like going through Muruganda and then like going through like Amonkhet and stuff like that, and it wasn't like pew, it was like actually trying to navigate these places and get into that area.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think that would be a more exciting framing set.
Yeah. MagicCon Chicago.
That was super fun.
February 21st. That was a lot of fun. Matt Nass won Pro Tour Ether Drift. Congratulations. And Creative Kitty Studio won the Cosplay Best in Show.
I ran a Dungeons and Dragons game live.
Yeah. I like Chicago. It was nice. Ether Drift Alchemy on March 4th. I still did not interact with Alchemy in any way. More secret lairs. So many secret lairs. One was called Our Boss is on Vacation. I think this is when they were pretending that they were going to sell a hatchet, or maybe that was the previous year.
Juggalo secret lair when?
Yeah.
Speaking of Hatchet Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, though.
SpongeBob SquarePants secret lair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember this being kind of a crowd pleaser, even though I didn't really interact with it at all.
That smothering tithe of like, what's his face laying on the pile of money?
Oh, yeah. Can we see the SpongeBob smothering tithe? I forgot about that one. Is it smothering tithe?
I thought it was smothering tithe. I don't remember. But it was like, was it like the crab guy? Yeah, it is the crab guy lying on a pile of money.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
To me, this is incredibly BM, but it's great. Like, and I think that's how everybody felt about this. Where like, everybody was like, this is so rude. I love it. Right?
Yeah.
And I believe this was an incredibly popular secret lair, like just
I'm pretty
sold
sure, yeah.
gangbusters.
Yeah. I like that we also had there was a couple, I think there was 3, if I recall correctly. There was 3 secret lairs, and 2 of them were just sort of like SpongeBob stuff, and there was some mechanically, I don't think they were mechanically unique, but there was some SpongeBob stuff. And they like reprinted Patrick as like they did a vanity print of a legend with no text.
Yeah, and
so
did nothing.
he's just vanilla. But then there was one of the secret lairs. Yeah, this is Barktooth Warbeard, just a 6'5". But then one of the secret lairs was also like specifically like notable mimetic SpongeBob images. Exactly. So there's Counterspell with him doing the mocking thing. There's
didn't do camel case for it though.
The bonus card did.
Okay,
the bonus card was another counterspell with the sponge case, as they call it. The smothering tithe. The dismember was, I can't remember which art. My leg. Yeah. Anyway, the point is there was a bunch of them that were of like go-to SpongeBob meme images, so that was fun.
How much is that? How much is the camel case counterspell worth? I would imagine a pretty penny.
$216.
Nice.
You know what though? If I rip this out of somebody, like obviously not rip, but like I'm playing, like if I see somebody rip this on a commander deck, or like I see it in their cube, I'm going to be like, player of grace and dignity.
Yeah, a discerning eye.
Yes, you, my friend, are a collector of fine artwork.
Deadpool.
Oh, right. He has
So many secret layers.
He gives his text box to another creature, and it's bad.
Yeah, or takes their text box, does something.
You swap text boxes with another creature, and like the art is him like cutting off his own text box, and it's breaking the fourth wall because he's self-aware. That's his gimmick.
Right. Oh, right. He is literally slicing it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Deadpool enters, you may exchange his text box and another creature's. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 3 life. Sacrifice this creature. Each other player draws a card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't get to change it. You only do that when he enters, so that they can't give the text box back.
Correct.
Okay.
Also, draw me like one of your French cards. Perfect, because he is self-aware, so he knows he's being drawn for a magic card right now.
Right.
Like, I actually really love the flavor of this, and all.
And and he's allowed to reference James Cameron's Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, he is, of course. Which would normally, he would not put on they'd be like, you can't make that reference in flavor text.
Yeah, exactly.
But for Deadpool, it's fine. This really puts into contrast like the difference in quality between the like these kinds of secret layer treatments and then the Monster Hunter one that everybody went, what the fuck?
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
April 11th, I remind you, so we had February 14th was Ether Drift. February, March, April. So April 11th, a little under 2 months, Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Our beloved.
Yeah. Conclusion of the Dragonstorm arc.
Yeah, this is where Nicol Bolas gets his name back.
Oh, was that the problem? He didn't remember who he was?
Yeah, Ugin had trapped him in the meditation world just so they could hang, because basically he thought if you have any of your powers back, you are just going to get up to more mayhem. So he stripped him of his memories and his name, so he couldn't do something. But then Narset and oh my god, I'm blanking on this. Anyhow, a bunch of people go to visit Ugin in his meditation realm, and then they say blah 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 Bolas, and then Nicol Bolas is like, "What was that? Oh, we're back, baby!" Is basically,
I love that characterization of it.
That I mean, where's the lie? But
Yeah.
the point being, that's kind of what happens in that is like we've unfridged a villain.
Terrific.
Good management of our storyline resources here.
So let's talk about Dragonstorm. This set was great.
I love this set. I loved the Sultai in this set. I thought all of the playing Sultai was great. There was that big square creature, the 4/4 that you could do a thing for 4 mana. Remember that was just it had reach, and you could exile it from your graveyard to put a reach counter on something.
Sagu.
Yeah,
Sagu
yeah,
Mauler?
the big ape.
Yeah.
Sagu Mauler was from the original one, Sagu something.
Yeah.
James was like, tell us what the card is.
Yeah, Sagu Pummeler.
Sagu, I love this creature. It's just a common, but to me, this is like the perfect
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 and a green for a 4/4 beast with reach, and then renew for 5 mana and exile it from your graveyard. You put 2 counters, 2 +1/+1 counters, and a reach counter on a creature, and you can only renew as a sorcery.
I liked renew as a mechanic. I
Renew
actually
was
liked
great.
all of the mechanics. Mm-hmm. The one that sometimes felt a little bit like less good was probably the Teamer one to me.
Right. So Obzon had Endure, which was Endure X is you either put X counters on the creature or you make
Right. Spirit.
an XX spirit.
So you can go wide or big.
Yeah. So it's sort of like Fabricate, except Fabricate N was N counters or N
And little
servos.
guys.
This was N counters or 1 N spirit. Jeskai had Flurry, which was caring about. They've finally templating casting a second spell.
Right, yes.
Right? And Flurry I found to be a lot of fun. Even on again, I don't remember the name of it, but even on the common, there was just a 2/1 goblin for 1 and a red with haste. And then Flurry was, you just ping your opponent for 1.
Yes.
He's just an annoying little guy. Did a lot of good work there.
Oh,
Devoted Duelist. There we go.
Thank you, James.
Thank you. Sultai have Renew. Mardu had Mobilize, which was pretty messed up.
Yes.
If I should remember the name of it as well.
You told me not to do any research.
I know. No.
I would have looked up cards.
Oh, it's fine. It's the
Look, chat, I'm so sorry.
I'm imagining the one with the hybrid mana cost that's like a 3/3 and it gives another creature, +1/+0 and indestructible until end of turn when it enters, and then it also has Mobilize 1. Anyway, Mobilize was you make the little warriors that are tapped and attacking, and then you sacrifice them at the end of turn, but you have a lot of ways that you can use those tokens before you have to sacrifice them, or you care about things that are dying, or, just...
Why have I just now thought about Mobilize and Firebending? Is this what it feels like to play Standard?
What it feels like to play Standard is apparently you get your ass beat by Gran.
Yeah.
We're getting to that.
Reigning Victor was
thank
so
you, James.
Good. Yeah.
I love how when we're thinking about cards that we enjoyed casting, it's all commons.
Because
that's the sign of a good format.
The rares are big and powerful, and they're cool and everything. But I always wanted to have a Reigning Victor in my Mobilize deck.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the dragon spells that could either be a big dragon or a little thing, and then it got shuffled back into your library, and I love those so much.
Let's talk about that in 2 seconds right after, because Teamer had Harmonize, which was like Flashback Convoke.
Right.
It was okay.
It was, yeah. There were and are some very powerful Harmonize cards, but in draft it was.
You had to harmonize as a sorcery, correct?
I think you harmonize at the speed of the card. But yeah, this one, Mammoth Bellow, this was really good.
Yes.
It was 5 mana for a 5/5, and then you harmonize. You can use the Mammoth on your next turn to harmonize it again and get a second 5/5 for only 3 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was kind of like, it's a 5-drop, but can you afford not to sleeve up 3 of them if you have them?
Yeah. But yes, let's talk about Omens, because Omens were great.
Yeah. It was a really fun... Could you look up the name of any creature? Any Omen creature. There you go. Runescale Stormbrood, which is actually not the one I played a lot. The black one was really good. But what was nice is that there's an Omen side, which is Chilling Screech, and they're templated like adventures. And it says, this one is 1 and a blue, counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, which could come up a lot in this format. But like I said, this wasn't my most favorite of the Omen dragons. But... when you're done with that, it shuffles back into your library. So you're not in a situation of like, I have to choose whether I want to target this now, or if I wait, like, maybe even just next turn, right? Or like 2 turns from now, I want to cast this dragon, which is really going to be helpful for my board. And so you always feel like, you're in a weird position and stuff.
Right.
But this just goes back into your library. But for the more expensive ones, which I really liked, is like I draw this and it's like, this is a 5-drop and I'm way off it, but it's got a useful little spell on it. So and I can just keep recasting that spell every time I draw it.
Feral Deathgorger.
I cast that card so many times.
It's a 3/5 flying death touch. When it enters, you exile 2 cards from a graveyard. But the Omen is just 2 mana. You put a counter on up to 1 creature and draw a card.
Yeah. Because that Omen is so... you just draw a card?
Durgar Island Dragon was a 4/4 Ward 2 for 6.
Durgar Island Dragon.
With Skimming Strike that taps a creature, draws a card.
Oh my god, tap a creature, draw a card? Because I don't want to... if I got a 6-drop in my opening hand, normally that's bad. But tap a creature, draw a card. So basically I'm cycling it with minor upside at instant speed. And then...
tempo play, slow down your opponent a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. And it gets me up to being able to cast that when I redraw it. And there was enough card draw in this that, like, it kind of, like... definitely I had cycled an Omen into my deck and then drawn the dragon later and felt like $1 million.
Yeah.
Honestly, the common cycle of those dragons was really good. That was 2 of them. Riling Dawnbringer was a 3/4 that buffed another creature at the beginning of combat, but its Omen was make a 2/2 soldier. That was the white one. The red one, Stormshriek Feral, it's a 3/3 with haste and fire breathing, but its Omen was basically the
discard 1, draw 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember the name of any of those cards? Not Thrilling Voice. I'm like conflating 2. Tormenting Voice.
Yeah.
And Thrill of Possibility.
Thrill
I've conflated 2 different things. And Sagu Wildling is the 3/3 flyer that you gain 3 life, but the Omen is you just go looking for a land. It doesn't go into play, but it goes into your hand. But that's still really useful for, like, generally like teamer fixing and stuff like that.
Honestly, any deck where I played green, I was so excited to get one of these, especially because you were doing 3 color in this set. So this, despite being a common, was like, I felt like really clutch if this was one of your colors. Like, you take this very highly, despite the fact it was a common.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's it. So longtime listeners of Limited Resources will know that sometimes they will say, they're doing their set wrap-ups. Was this set a Prince or a Pauper set? And I don't think that we could give it and Pauper being like commons and uncommons, or Prince being big aristocratic creatures like the rares, the mythics, what defined the set. And it's really interesting looking back. I don't think we could make an opinion about Ether Drift because we had just lost all memory of it. But this, we're like, oh yeah, that guy, this guy. We remember all the mechanics. We're talking very lovingly about them. So clearly I think this is a Pauper set because we're talking so much about all of these commons.
Yeah, and then like there were times where you bounced one of the Omen dragons back to your hand and got to play the Omen again.
There were inarguably in this set some like absolutely ridiculous bomb rares and mythics that would like 100% just lock down a game of Limited, but it wasn't like every rare or mythic was like that. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There was also I liked you talked about bouncing, Cameron. There's the Dragon Storm cycle of enchantments that like they enter, they do a thing, and then if you play a dragon, you get to put it back in your hand and then cast it again.
The second coming of the Cartouche Trial gameplay pattern.
God, it's incredible the contrast in memory that we have between Tarkir and Ether Drift. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just because Tarkir, like even though, have all these factions and we're learning new things about them and the world of Tarkir and all of this stuff, it's got so much more cohesive identity for us to hang our hat on, right? Like, because there's like 10 factions in Ether Drift. But they weren't all from the same plane like you have in like Ravnica, where it's like easier to keep track of it because they all sort of belong in the same bucket, at least.
Well, like what if you had all the guilds of Ravnica introduced in one set and then it was gone?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not enough time to really give
flesh them out,
Yeah. Or, give anyone any kind of identity to anchor themselves around.
I want to highlight one more dragon from Dragonstorm, not because it's necessarily one that did make any kind of splash in Standard, and I think we managed to resolve it once or twice in Limited, but I think it's mostly just that it's very funny, which is the Storm Scale Scion.
Yes.
With first time reprinting Storm into Standard for a while. It's just 4 red for a 4/4 dragons you control get +1/+1, and it has Storm. So if you can cast spells before you cast this, you get multiple Storm Scale dragons that all buff each other, and also the name is Storm Scale Scion, making fun of themselves that the storm scale of abilities that wouldn't be reprinted. I think that's very
clever
funny.
Little joke.
How many Storm Scale Scions do you need to feel good about it?
I mean, 4? I did it. I got a second one once and felt pretty good. I got. I think the most I've ever gotten is 2 copies, so 3 total, and that was pretty great.
Yeah,
I mean, our opponent conceded pretty much
18
immediately.
power.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to be playing this in Commander, so I want 4 dragons.
Yeah,
it's very doable in Commander. The power creep has been a lot over the years, but I will say one final shout out: Kodos the Fangkeeper. What a great card! I know we talked a lot about the commons. That's a rare or a mythic. Kodos
is so messed up.
My boy. I loved playing with him. Also, incredible art.
Crushed by this guy, I think.
Wow.
Not the PPR, at the draft afterwards.
So Kodos, as a reminder, is 1 black, green, blue for a 2/1 indestructible, which is the critical annoyance. And then whenever Kodos deals combat damage to a player, you exile the top X cards of their library, where X is the amount of damage dealt, and then you can cast any number of spells with mana value X, or any number with mana value X or less without paying their mana cost. So if you get counters on Kodos, if you hit with 4 and you get to look at the top 4 cards and cast any number of them of mana value 4 or less, that's so messed up.
You just come home one day and Kodos is looking through your fridge. You're just like, dude, I had my door locked. And he's like, yeah, I had a key made. It was kind of rude of you to have your door locked. You're just like, look, you were a friend of a friend. You came over twice, like, last year. Why are you here? And you're just like,
now your lapis ass won't get off my couch.
Yeah. It's like ordering pizza to your place. Yeah. You're just like, what is going on?
I'm sorry. Now your jade ass won't get off my couch.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Wrong zombie reinforcement material.
Yeah.
All right, that's Amonkhet I'm thinking of again.
Oh, right.
Anyhow, We all like this set. Moving on, I think.
All right. We had another Secret Lair super drop, including a commander deck called Everyone's Invited with Morophon. I completely forgot this deck existed.
I did not know this deck existed. I feel like I probably did, but I don't.
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't know about that. But also the two Secret Lairs in association with KEXP.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Which Graham got me for my birthday. So I have some
great
KEXP lands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. There's the secret card in the there's one of basic lands, and the secret card is a command tower that looks like the KEXP broadcast. Well, it's a stylized version of the KEXP broadcast tower, and that's very cool.
Also, big shout outs to Graham, whose 2025 project has been sorting our Magic collection. So when I go to find these, I'll know where they are. So thank you, Graham.
You're very welcome. We have I've been explaining this to other people. The problem is that for a while, basically what we've done is we go to a Magic Con and we have like a deck box that comes in the like bag. And then over the weekend, whatever events we play in or whatever, like packs we get that are our packs, not the Crack-A-Pack packs, but any packs that we get, any of the good cards go in the deck boxes. And then we come home from Magic Con and we go, great, I'm going to put this deck box here. And then we leave it.
But like, it's not because I like don't
So
care.
it's just,
because I come home and we have cats and we have a daughter and we have things to do, and it's just like I will sort these Magic cards later. But the problem is, I will sort these Magic cards later has been going on for like 2 years now.
Yeah, so later is now, and it's been a lot, but I'm feeling very, very good about it.
I'm very happy, thank you. I'm going to build a new commander deck just out of stuff we have laying around.
Hell yeah. Let me see. Where are we? Festival in a Box with more secret lairs. More secret lairs. Good news. There's more secret lairs.
Oh, good. Good.
And then June 13th. This was a big one. Universes Beyond Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, this was just haymakers left and right. Like this was.
It is a very powerful set. It gave us our very troublesome boy Vivi.
Yeah,
It sure did.
Broke standard for a while.
yeah. Cameron's monkey paw curled shut. With Vivi being a problem.
Yep.
I like the little guy.
I mean, he's a cute little
adorable.
man.
He's my little man.
Yeah, but he is super powerful in the game, and like all of the cards in this format. Wow, I'm now thinking about it, and I have so many less good memories of playing this set than I have of Tarkir. Even though we did like a sealed league of this set, and I played more paper games of this set than I played of Tarkir. Tarkir, I played more on like just draft nights and like events and like arena.
I don't know. I had a pretty good.
I mean, Cameron went
memories of playing
undefeated.
this set. No, Nelson kicked my ass twice.
All right, but
those
you
were the
did
only
very
two
well in our
games I
sealed league.
lost.
That's true. You did very well in our sealed league.
Yeah, I feel the trick was just opening bomb rare after bomb rare with lands that allowed me to play them.
I had so much fun with this set. Obviously, as you will have seen from my 3-hour deep dive video, I'm an invested fan of Final Fantasy. But accepting that, more so than many Universes Beyond, a lot of this felt very at home in Magic. And honestly, like, I agree with you, Kathleen, but also the draft environment for Final Fantasy was so good. It was so fun to play. It was a incredibly well-tuned draft, and as the set went on, it didn't fall into the like, okay, we've been drafting the set for a month now. Now we all know that the best deck is this 2-color combination. That didn't happen.
No, that's true.
And it was
You could
really
win
good.
in any color if you had an amazing creature and lots of removal.
And remember to splash blue for Magic Damper.
There was so much removal. So,
much
because Cameron
removal in
mentioned
this
Magic
set.
Damper, which of course gives a creature hexproof, and this set had so much removal. And we were talking about this, I think, in a previous podcast a couple weeks ago, that because it's like there's so many legendary creatures, and they're all very powerful and they do good stuff. And Final Fantasy also is about combat and like offensive magic, and so there's just lots of removal. And so this it was. You said the first thing you said, I think, was haymakers, and that definitely I think is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, two most important cards in any limited deck in this environment were Magic Damper and the Unearth equivalent.
Oh, yeah, anything that could get a card back was so good.
Yeah.
Noctis got stuff back for you, didn't he?
Noctis got back like artifacts. You're thinking of like the
But you could eat your ramen.
Fight On.
You could
Fight On.
you
Fight
could
On.
eat ramen over and over again.
Yeah, eating ramen over and over. Yeah, my Fight On, which was 2 and a black instant, return 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand.
Instant.
Yeah,
Instant.
So, yeah, and end of your opponent's turn. If you have a flash creature, you can get a blocker. Mm-hmm. Great card. And I believe during our limited league, I force-fed... what's his name from Final Fantasy VIII?
Oh, Squall.
Squall. I
Yeah.
force-fed Squall so much ramen. Just like, you could hear him sloshing as he double-struck his way across the battlefield.
Because Squall is 2 white, black, 3/4 with Rough Divide. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. But critically, whenever Squall deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So hits in first strike damage, bring back your ramen, immediately crack the ramen, feed it to Squall, gain life, draw a card. Then Squall hits for regular damage, bring back the ramen again.
Yes. Yeah. And like the thing with Squall's pose in that artwork, if you look at it carefully, you can hear his kidneys making a grinding noise from all the salt from the ramen that I had been force feeding him.
I mean, okay, so I'm just going to say, remember how we were just waxing poetic about all of the commons in Tarkir, and now we talked about Vivi and Squall and all of these haymakers.
a good example of a princess.
This is where the rares really defined, I think, the set, and those are what sticks out in our memory.
As much as I love Black Mage's Rod, but yes,
the commons that we are having fond, or at least that I'm having fond memories of, are the ones that allow you to play more haymakers.
Yeah.
Keep your haymakers
Yeah,
alive.
that reinforce, now I get my rare again, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's really interesting from design. And it's probably good that not every set is designed the same way, right? And I think it's fitting for the UB treatment because, like, there are, like, these beloved characters and we want them to be memorable and we want them to be fun to play and we want them to stick out in our memory. And I also want to say, speaking of fun to play and stick out, the commander decks for Final Fantasy were all very powerful. Like the Final Fantasy 14 like commander like Yashoda or Y'shtola.
Yeah, everyone's
banana.
favorite cat wife.
Yeah, that commander is just banana. And there's some really good cards. And just like the out of the box, the pre-gens were very powerful and very synergistic.
The Final Fantasy X deck, the Counter Blitz deck, was very, very strong with counters. The Limit Break deck for Final Fantasy VII was also really, really cool. They were just... This was... I mean, I think that obviously this was a financial success for Wizards, obviously. We know that. But I think this was also a huge creative success, which is good because I know that it was a lot of work for them over many, many, many years. Did you know that, because they've talked about this, did you know that each Final Fantasy game is sort of like owned by a different department within Square?
I mean, that kind of makes sense because there's so much different stuff going on and they don't necessarily share technology, right?
Yeah, but it means that like if Wizards wanted to be like, if the designers wanted to be like,
go to a completely different siloed department within Squeenix.
Yes. So for every single card referencing a particular game, they had to go to a different group at Square Enix and go, what do you think about this? And not everyone was necessarily, I assume not everyone was necessarily on the same sort of page. And
right.
This sounds like it would have been logistical nightmare to work on, but they nailed it. Now, this is totally unrelated to Wizards, or rather, this is not something that Wizards did. Though I'm sure financially they don't care. But Final Fantasy is when we saw a lot of folks I don't have proof of this, but this is all sort of based on what people have said. This is commonly accepted that folks from, for example, the Pokemon world came to saw basically the writing on the wall that Final Fantasy would be really popular and would be good for scalping. And that's why we saw such massive increases in pricing for Final Fantasy packs, for sealed packs, especially collector boosters. Even though they've done second print runs, like they've printed more Final Fantasy.
Right.
Because
I think YJ got some in last week.
Yeah, for Wizards' perspective, there's no reason for them not to print Final Fantasy. But for a while there, the prices were ridiculous, and didn't love it. And I think that I like to believe, and we'll talk about this more next episode when we get to later in the year. But I think the Magic community has managed to correct for it. Like, I think there was a big spike with Final Fantasy with that, and then I think that. I think basically scalpers tried to do that again with Spider-Man and Avatar and have been left holding bags.
Good.
I
Delightful.
Sorry.
Yeah,
the cardboard's expensive enough for just the people who want to get their hands on it so they can use it.
Yup.
Right? Like, demand is still high just for people who want to play it. I have zero sympathy if you're just trying to milk those people for even more money.
So yeah, Final Fantasy though I think was. I thought the set was great. I thought the gameplay was really good. It was fun. Like it. Universes Beyond is a problem when it's something I don't like. Right? Like that tends to be the general opinion. Personally, for me, I really like Final Fantasy, and I thought that this set clearly was made with nothing but love. From a design perspective, obviously, it was made. Also with massive financial incentives, but it was clearly made with love, and you could see that on the cards, and it was fun, and so I think that it was like a prime example of how to do. If Universes Beyond must be a thing, this was a great example of how to do it correctly. So I really enjoyed that. Wrapping up June, a couple more secret layers. We had MagicCon Las Vegas in June.
That was really. I went
warm.
to MagicCon Vegas.
Yeah.
I didn't do a live Dungeons and Dragons game there, but I did play Dungeons and Dragons at Vegas, and I had a really good time. That might be my most enduring memory of just playing D&D.
You tend to play more D&D at MagicCons.
Well, I like to play a single game of Dungeons and Dragons at MagicCon, and so I want to say thank you to the Creator Central team for giving me a place to do it. It was very kind of you and much appreciated.
And Ken Yukihiro won Pro Tour Final Fantasy wearing his Final Fantasy V shirt, which was really adorable.
Nice.
With Vivi, I believe.
Yeah.
And then at the end of June, banner restricted announcement. Not Vivi yet, though.
No.
This was the
Vivi
big
would
one, though.
come only right recently.
This was in the standard bannings. There was some in Alchemy and Arena Pioneer and Historic, but the standard bannings at the end of June were Abuela's Awakening, Corey Steelcutter, Heartfire Hero, pardon me, Hopeless Nightmare, Monstrous Rage, This Town Ain't Big Enough, and Up the Beanstalk.
Right.
I remember banning Up the Beanstalk. Okay, yeah.
No more
and-
fiddling with your beans in standard.
Yeah.
and Corey Steelcutter.
Corey Steelcutter is just banan.
Yeah, like what is this card? Like what does it do again?
It's an equipment. It makes a prowess monk and automatically well, okay, so it's 1 in a red. The equipped creature gets +1/+1 and trample and haste. And then Flurry is whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you make a 1/1 white monk with prowess, and you can attach the Corey Steelcutter to it.
So basically, 3 mana, you play the Corey Steelcutter, you play any 1 mana thing to possibly buff something else, and then you just absolutely go in.
Yeah. It was a problem.
Yeah. Just what? Are you sure? All those words, huh?
It is very powerful.
In that order?
But I mean, good for Corey for getting a card that was named after her.
Yeah.
Sorry it had to get banned. But that's how she spells her name.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Hearthfire Hero is just a little guy, little mouse, who
Good.
picked up Corey Steelcutter and beat
I
you to
just
death
beat
with
you
it.
to death with it. I mean, you know.
I don't think those decks actually, or those cards were really in the same deck, were they? Because Hearthfire Hero was
Because Monstrous
was
Rage
like a
was
one
also
drop.
a red cheap. It was one.
Yeah,
it was from
right.
Monstrous Rage
+3
was the problem.
+0 monster roll, so it gave you something you could
Like
sack.
+4/+1 with and then it gives it trample.
Yeah.
Which was the big problem.
Oh, and then +1/+1 prowess, monstrous rage. It was just like this whole package of red problems.
Yes, correct.
That sort of made it that the only deck that was really viable was red-black for a long time because you just cast all these red problems and then removal and then just got in, as I recall. I'm not like a huge standard player, so please feel free to correct me in the comments. But
and that takes us to the end of June. So we'll pick it up at the beginning of July in our part 2 episode. Though I did want to say, I forgot to mention at the top of this wiki entry, the way that they word this is the year 2025 is the 33rd year of Magic the Gathering, and I love considering like in this the 33rd year of Magic the Gathering as a way of looking at all dates. It's very funny to me.
Yeah, 33 or AMTG 33.
Yeah, wow. Right. In the year AMTG 33, Corey Steelcutter was banned.
And Magic the Gathering's been going for so long.
I know, right? Pretty
Good
amazing.
for it. 33 years, wild.
And don't forget, Cube will outlive Magic.
It will.
With the dancing skeletons. For anyone who hasn't seen that image. It's really good. Anyway, honestly, pretty cool first 6 months. Come back next week for the second 6 months of the year. But until then, want to remind you all that, of course, you can get a whole bunch of the cards we talked about today from our sponsor, cardkingdom.com/LRR. Putting the /LRR on there is kind of important. So please do that if you can remember to. There's a link in the video description.
Yeah, if you put in someone else's affiliate code, we'll know. They send us those metrics.
We will not. We do not know that. But can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah, like
especially if there was some way. If there was some way that was like, hey, wait a minute, we told you about Card Kingdom, and you're putting someone else's thing in there.
Yeah,
there was no way we could connect that information.
Yeah, you're putting
really
in GLHF.
Yeah, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
No,
I mean, well, you know what?
What?
Do 2 smaller orders and use each code.
Yeah, make it more annoying for you.
Yeah, democracy.
Dragon Shield, use the code LRRMTG5, get yourself 5% discount. And most importantly, everything we do here is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon or by becoming a member on this YouTube channel. Thank you for letting us continue to do everything that we do. Until next time, I've been Graham, joined by Kathleen.
Hi, bye.
And Cameron.
What?
James has been on tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you, James.
Bye, everybody.